Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing on today? I am super, super excited and I'm fangirling because I get to hang out with a New York Times best-selling author, Belle Calhoune, on today, guys. We are super, super excited. It's her new one, An Alaskan Blessing, guys. Let me tell you, this is a good one. It is definitely a tell a friend type of read, a buddy read, all of that good stuff as well. And Belle Calhoune is gracing us with her presence on today to talk about her new release, which also happened to be one of they're also celebrating Harlequin's 75th anniversary as well. So you can see it has the 75th anniversary logo on there too. Author Belle Calhoune, my friend. Before you introduce yourself, I definitely want to tell the people you know what to do. I like, tag, and share, my friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend to come on down to the cafe and hang out with author Belle Calhoune on today. Author Belle Calhoune, introduce yourself, my friend.
My name is Belle Calhoune, and I am the writer of sweet contemporary and also inspirational romance. I think I've written, I can't remember, between traditional and indie. I'm probably in the 55 book range. This
Yay.
book is my 19th for Love Inspired, and 20th is coming out in January. So I'm keeping very busy.
I love that. And author Belle Calhoun, 50 something books. That is a lot of books. Congratulations to you,
Thank you.
my friend, as well. We are so excited for you. And again, also congratulations on one of your books being a New York Times bestseller. And so, therefore, you are a New York Times bestselling
I
author.
am.
And we love it. We love it as well. Helen is telling you welcome. We have author
Thank
Sharon Blunt hanging out
you.
with us on today as well. And Helen is saying 50 plus books. Awesome. Yes, Helen, it is definitely awesome as well. And so, Belle, I know they are ready for us to get into your latest Love Inspired. It is called An Alaskan Blessing. And before we get into that, Belle, because you have a lot of books that kind of take place in the backdrop of Alaska, tell us about that, my friend. What do you enjoy about writing that Alaskan backdrop and as a setting?
I think I enjoy that it's so different from how I grew up. I grew up in New England, so I'm very familiar with that area of the country. And I think Alaska is so different because of the cold, sort of the animals you might see. Like I don't think I've ever seen a moose walking across the street, and it just to me it's ripe for all kinds of situations. So I think that's why I enjoy it.
I love that. I love that. And guys, if you are just joining us, we are hanging out with author Belle Calhoun on today, guys. It's her new one, An Alaskan Blessing. It is hot off the press. It is available in ebook, it's available in print. And hold tight because we will be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of this amazing story. Now, Belle, I want to ask you this because you know I love a cover, all of that good stuff. And before we talk about the cover, my friend, and when you saw the final cover and how that made you feel, you recently took a trip and you actually posted a picture of a church that definitely put you in the mindset of the cover. So tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll talk about the cover itself.
I recently my family, we went to Cape Cod on vacation. And because the book was just coming out, it was releasing while I was on vacation. We were driving along the Cape Cod National Seashore and going to different towns. And I took a picture of that one church, but there were like four churches
Oh,
that looked just
wow.
like the cover. And it was so interesting because I felt almost like here I am seeing this church everywhere. So I had to snap a photo of at least one and do the side by side comparison because it was almost like, did they use this church for inspiration?
I love that.
Maybe.
That is so super cool. And then the other question, Bill, once you saw your final cover, what was that like for you, especially when you knew what the title was going to be, guys? And once you read the story, you will definitely see the significance of this church or what have you to the story. But what was it like when you got your final cover?
It's always exciting to get the final cover because it means that the book is coming out soon. And I have the feeling that people would really like it just because it is a beautiful church. And once you read the story, hopefully people would tie together the connection and realize, why it was that, and even the title, what the blessing was, and just
Yes.
kind of tie up all the pieces. So it's always exciting to get covers. It makes me feel like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
And I love that you said that that definitely once they read it, they'll see the tie-in to the
Yeah.
title as
Yeah.
well as the tie-in to the church that is on the cover. But Belle, you have to spill a little bit of tea, my friend. An Alaskan Blessing. Was this your working title or this title came later? Did you help with the title? Tell us about it. Look, spill some tea.
Well, I actually was, I mean, I like the title now, but I was a little bit disappointed because my original title I thought was perfect. It
Okay.
was An Alaskan Baby Blessing.
Oh.
And it was approved. It actually was online as An Alaskan Baby Blessing. And then I got the message from the editorial team saying, well, we've decided to make it maybe not as specific. So they took out the baby. So it took a little getting used to, because 9 times out of 10, you do not get the title you suggest. So I think I was kind of happy that they went with my title, but then things kind of changed. But I like it now. I've gotten used to it.
Well, one thing, Belle, too, with An Alaskan Blessing, it kind of puts you in a suspense, like, okay, what is the blessing? And of course, we
Exactly.
know, guys,
Yes,
once you read it, it is definitely a baby blessing, or
yes,
what have you, too.
yes.
So we are glad that we have An Alaskan Blessing, that it is alive and in color, guys. We're super duper excited. If you're just joining us, we're hanging out with Belle Calhoune, and yes, I am fangirling. Oh my goodness, Belle, we are so excited for you and your new release, An Alaskan Blessing. And guys, I promise you, Belle Calhoune, stay tuned. She'll be sharing a little snippet from An Alaskan Blessing. And not only that, we'll be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of it. Now, Belle, if you can share this with us, what inspired this story?
Um, I guess when I was thinking about the characters, because Sky and Ryan are both in the first book, which is her Alaskan Return, and I wanted to, I love when I'm writing a book. When I was writing her Alaskan Return, I drop breadcrumbs of characters because I want people to say, "Oh, they're going to do her story, you're going to do his story."
Yeah.
Well, I knew that I wanted a story, and in the first book, I had dropped the breadcrumb that Sky was supposed to get married, and then the wedding didn't go off as planned.
Woo!
So I so I thought about what that would do to a person if you thought
Yeah.
your whole life was going to be set and tied up with someone, and then all of a sudden he decides he doesn't want to marry you. That's a
Mm-hmm.
huge thing, and her reputation is sort of, as the most attractive woman in town, so
Yes.
she kind of was almost like, her father owns sugar works, and she's, she doesn't have a perfect life because obviously, she's had personal things in her family happen, but I kind of just wanted to see what stage that person would be at, and then kind of throwing the baby in is almost like giving her something to hold on to that's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and to make her kind of grow up in a way.
Yeah, and Bill, not only that, I mean, you mentioned the thing of, her being, her it's her wedding day, and then this guy is
Yeah,
like, I don't want to marry you and all this stuff.
yeah.
And guys, all I'm gonna say is 2 words: small town. So you already know if it's a small town,
Yeah,
nobody don't have any business, okay? Because and
right,
that's gonna be the talk of the town. And
right.
again, you're trying to like get away from that. So of course, you got the town gossips. That's kind of all this good stuff that's going on as well. Now, Bill, I want to ask you this about this particular story because I love some of the topics that you deal with, some of the realness and rawness of this book, and then the way that you balanced it out. But before you share a little bit about what that was like to kind of dig into those deep moments for you, can you share what came first? Was it the characters, which we know some came from, the other book, but was it the characters or was it the plot of what this story was going to be about?
I think it was the character, and just also to sometimes the setting where she lived, sort of the whole, in the first book, the heroine isn't in the Drummond family, but she's very good friends with Sky's older sister. So
Yeah.
there's one point where she visits this property, and I visually, I'm a very visual person, so visually the Drummond property really, came to me because it's a company, Sugar Works, that makes birch syrup out of
Yeah.
birch. So to me, I was thinking, oh, this is so cool. The birch trees, beautiful setting, and Sky sort of operates, the general store. So in my mind, I had a really vivid picture. So in that she spent so much of her time there, I wanted the action of the baby to be there.
Ooh,
So you know what I
okay.
mean?
Look,
Yeah.
Belle Calhoun spilling a little tea. Oh my goodness. Now, Belle, for you, can you share a little bit about, because I'm sure in some moments you had to kind of like go to a place with some of the things that they dealt with. You have child abandonment, a child being
Yeah.
left on the doorstep.
Yeah.
You have a person who's also dealing with some past hurts, some deep rooted hurts, or what have you. And I love the vulnerability of both characters,
Yeah.
not only just Sky, but of Ryan, as well. Even with, like, you talk a little bit even about her sister and some things that her sister went through as well. So as a writer, what was that like for you, fleshing that out on the page?
Yeah, it is funny because they're characters and they're make believe, but I think to make them authentic, you kind of have to be empathetic. You have to step in their shoes. You have to kind of, position yourself, mainly for the heroine and the hero. But in this instance, there were some other characters who had some very serious things going on.
Yes.
You have to have sort of the empathy, but also, the practicality of what's best in the situation. And it's not always easy, because I know we're talking about this book, but the last book I wrote for Love Inspired, which doesn't come out until next summer, that I was, for at least 2 weeks, I was out, because the emotions in that book were so
Ooh,
intense that I for 2 weeks I didn't write, didn't do anything, and I said,
wow.
yeah. So I kind of feel like if you give it your all, you kind of feel that way if the topic is heavy.
Yeah.
This one I felt was probably, I mean, I like the joyful end of it, but definitely she went through some things.
Yeah, she did, guys. And Belle Calhoun, she's kind of giving you some little Easter eggs or letting you know what to expect or what have you. But I'm telling you, it is a good one. You would definitely enjoy it as well. Now, Belle, I want to ask you this a little bit. You told us, you talked about what came first, was it the characters or was it the plot? But let's talk about these characters a little bit. Let's dig into it. And guys, if you're just joining us, we are hanging out with best-selling author Belle Calhoune. Guys, this is her new one, An Alaskan Blessing. And let me just tell you, it is an enjoyable read. It definitely have all the feels. There are moments that these characters pull at your heartstring. Oh my goodness, Belle, we'll talk a little bit offline, child. We will talk offline how these characters pull at your heartstring. Okay, you tell us a little bit about Sky, but can you dig in deeper a little bit about her? How would you describe Sky's character?
I would describe her as optimistic, very loyal. She also has the hurt of things,
Mhm.
losing her mother. So although she's kind of viewed by the townsfolk as, oh, the prettiest girl in town, happy go lucky, that's really never true for anyone, I don't think, because that's a huge void in her life. But I think she's very loyal. And that's why she was so shocked when the wedding didn't go through, because she's like, wait
Yes,
a minute, you promised me, I promised you, meet
right.
me at the church. So I think in a way that situation positions her to kind of mature, but
Yeah.
obviously heartache isn't the best way to do that. But I think she's very loyal and hopeful for good things.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. And guys, if you're joining us, we're talking with author Belle Calhoun. And of course, if you have a question or two for her, put it in the comment section as well. Now, Belle, you got to talk a little bit about Trooper Ryan. What can you tell us about them? And oh my goodness, Belle, I love the meet cute. I love the meet cute.
He's a really good guy who's, I kind of feel like he was just like, wait a minute, how did I get the blame?
Exactly.
But I think that that's
Look, and then his boss wasn't no help because remember his boss was like, and you gonna kind of, I'm gonna need you to go by and check on them and see how. He's like, oh,
right,
wait, what?
right, right. And I think that in a way, I think my editor might have been like, well, what is going on? But I think in life, I think people do that. They don't want to look at maybe what did go wrong, or she didn't totally want to blame, like it's hard to accept maybe he just didn't want to marry me. So
Right,
she
right,
found him to be her scapegoat,
right.
which sort of was, like, okay. So he was sort of in a position where, in a way, he couldn't win because it's like, you're either going to believe what I'm telling you
Or you're not.
or you're not. And we've known each other since we were kids.
Right,
And,
right.
we never
And they
had
were
beef.
really good
They
friends.
were
Like,
good
it's like,
friends. We never had any beef before. But I do think in life, I think people like to sort of, you attach blame to certain people
yeah.
because somehow it helps to deflect, I think, at times. And she definitely did that.
Oh, and I love, oh my goodness, Bill. I mean, there is some swoon in this book as well, but I love how in the end and overall he had her back. She had to get to that
Yeah.
realization
Yeah.
or what have you, but that as
Mhm.
well. And I love I definitely love the faith element in this book as well, how they actually use their faith, both characters, the hero and the heroine. And Beth, I love the choir aspect. I
The
love the
choir
quiet aspect
secrets.
as well. But Belle, share a little bit about, if you could talk a little bit about the family dynamic too, 'cause especially like her family was like her rock to like help her get
Yeah.
through things,
Yeah.
or what have you. But tell us a little bit about that and what that was like of writing, like her relationship with her dad, her relationship with her sister.
I think, the family, just looking at the dynamics, the father is a very successful businessman who's his business is very profitable for this small town of Serenity Peak. They've lost the mother, who the general
Mm.
store is named after, just because, I mean, the mother died of flu, which
Yeah.
happens. It happens. Unfortunately, it's sudden, and they weren't prepared. Her older sister Violet is sort of like her stand-in mother, and
Mhm.
I think they're a very close family, and I did
Yeah.
try to lay some breadcrumbs that Violet has had a child, and she wasn't married, and small towns, they talked up a storm about her, and that carries over because she's the star of the next book.
Yeah. Ooh.
So, yeah.
Belle, you better spill the tea, guy. Okay, so y'all gotta listen up because Belle is spilling tea on today. Okay, so she just
Yeah.
shared with you that the next book will be Violet's story, as well. Now, Belle, I love how, and you do a great job of writing children. In this book, of course, you had the baby. You also had Violet's son as well in this story too. What is that like for you to write and incorporate children into your stories?
I really like writing a certain age group. It's harder to write really small children, but I think Chase, he was maybe, I think in that book, maybe he was 9. And I
Uh-huh.
love that age because it's an age of discovery. He can have conversations, he can get angry. And even in the book with Violet, you're going to see when he's never known his father until this book. So you're going to find a 9-year-old who's
Ooh.
just everything swirling around him, because imagine being 9 years old and your mother never said boo about who your father is. And you know how kids can be cruel. He's suffered that. And so it's very interesting to see his emotions coming as everything comes to a head and he does meet his father.
Woo! Yep,
Yeah.
let me tell you, Bill is spilling some tea. Oh my goodness. So you will be ready
Yeah.
for her next book. Definitely, if you have not already, grab you a copy of An Alaskan Blessing. Let me tell you, it is an enjoyable read with all the feels as well. Now, Bill, we talked about the characters just a little bit. I want to ask you this, and then we're going to allow you to read just a short snippet as well. Now, when you think about these characters, because guys, let me just tell you, some of these characters are a little complex, okay, with what they go through and all of that.
Yeah.
But when you think about these characters, which character was the most interesting for you to write, and which character was borderline complex for you to write?
Um, oof. I think Sky was probably the most interesting because here she is, a young woman who, for all intents and purposes, she's not married, she's
Right.
been ditched, but yet she bonds with this baby and
Yeah.
wants to assume responsibility. And I don't think I'm thinking of myself when I was that age. That was the last thing on my mind. So the fact that she wanted to do whatever she could do to make I mean, she bonded finding the baby. And so that was very complex, as well as just her navigating sort of the foster system and the rules and what she had to do and the
Yeah.
paperwork and all that stuff that just kind of complicates things. And I think the most complex character was, and I'm sorry, it's been a while, so I'm like Betty. Was her name Betty? The young girl, that was the
Oh,
hardest.
yes.
Yes, I
I
think her
can
name was Betty.
imagine.
That
Yes.
was the hardest because I had to sort
Ooh.
of walk that road of why, how, moving forward, and making sure it was compassionately done.
Mhm.
So it
And,
wasn't,
I mean, and think about even with her age,
her
the
age.
major decisions, and guys, we ain't gonna give you too much
Yeah,
because we want you to
yes,
read the book,
yeah,
but the major decisions that she had to make,
yes.
on more than one occasion, or what have you too. So, Bill, I can definitely see how that was one of the complex characters, in this book to write. Well, guys, I know you are ready. I know you're on the edge of your seat. You want to hear a snippet. We're gonna allow Belle Calhoune to set the scene, set the tone, and share with us what she's going to read and give you just a little bit of an Alaskan blessing.
Okay, I'm setting the scene that Sky has met, I think she's met up with Ryan in the local Humboldt, which is the cafe bookstore. And she leaves and he follows her out into the
Ooh,
street.
Belle, I know which scene this is.
Okay, I'll put my serious face on. Sky, he called out, hold on. She turned around with a look of surprise etched on her face. What is it? He took a few steps toward her until there were only a few inches between them. Ryan shifted from one foot to the other, then shoved a hand through his dark hair. We used to be friends, didn't we? He asked. That this is a fairly small town and we grew up together. What exactly did I do to make you hate me so much? I don't know what you're talking about. Sky's denial came out in a flat monotone. She looked away from him. Oh, but I think you do, Ryan said. Just tell me. Give it to me straight. Sky let out a frustrated sound. This isn't the time or the place. He let out a ragged sigh. All he wanted to do was clear the air between them. Serenity Peak was too small of a town for Sky to have an issue with him. It would be ridiculous to continue to avoid one another, especially now that there was the matter of Lula. No time like the present. We need to talk this out since we're working together to make sure Lula has a great home. She threw her hands in the air. Okay, if you want to know so badly, it's because you disparaged me to Tyler. Sky let out a huff of air. Don't get me wrong, I fell out of love with him a long time ago, but it still makes me angry that you badmouthed me right before the wedding. Dun dun dun.
Woo! Did you guys hear that? Let me just tell you, you are in for a treat. I mean, this had came to a moment where it was like, okay, we got to find out what this friction is. He was like, wait a minute, enough is enough, or what
Mhm.
have you, too, guys. I'm gonna tell you, you are in for a treat. If you have not read an Alaskan Blessing, I definitely need for you guys to get yourself a copy, and you're going to have an amazing time enjoying this story as well. Jennifer said, great snippet. And of course,
Thank you,
guys,
Jennifer.
we are getting ready to do a round of this or that, as well. And so, Belle, for your this or that, where it's gonna kind of be like summer fall edition or what have you, because it's like, oh
Okay.
my goodness, we're getting ready to get into
We are
fall or what have you. So, all right, let me know when you are ready.
ready.
Okay, so Belle Calhoun, this is the last trip of like the summer or what have you. Are you going to the beach or are you going to the mountains?
Beach.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Now, Belle, is starting to get a little cool. Are you jeans or leggings?
Jeans.
Okay, are you pumpkin spice or are you apple cinnamon?
Pumpkin spice.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Belle Calhoune, for playing a quick round of this or that with us on today. And of course, guys, there is a giveaway, and I'm going to allow Belle Calhoune to share with us what her giveaway is going to be on today.
I'm giving away 3 copies of An Alaskan Blessing.
Oh my god. Okay, press pause. Did you guys just hear on the cafe on today, author Belle Calhoune is giving away 3 copies, not one, not two, but 3 copies of An Alaskan Blessing. And of course, guys, you know how to win. You have to have comments in the comment section. We're getting ready to get started. We're going to go up and down the comment section. And Belle Calhoune is going to share with me when to stop. And then these individuals will be the winner of An Alaskan Blessing. Okay, Belle Calhoune, I am ready when you are.
Stop.
Okay. First one up is Jennifer Copeland with her leggings. Jennifer, you are the first winner of a copy of An Alaskan Blessing. Okay, Belle, I am ready, ready, ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Stop.
Antoinette Gates, you are the second winner of a copy of An Alaskan Blessing. Okay, we got one more. All right, let me clear. Give me one moment, Belle, and let's see here. Okay, here we go. I'm ready.
Stop.
Okay. Helen Gibson, you are the third winner of a copy of An Alaskan Blessing. Congratulations to all of the winners. If you guys will inbox me, I'll be sure to get that over to author Belle Calhoune, and you will get a copy of An Alaskan Blessing. And of course, guys, once you read it, or if you've already read it, definitely leave a review. I know that author Belle Calhoune will be so appreciative. And again, we say congratulations. And Belle, I want for you to share with us, my friend, what did you enjoy about bringing this story, An Alaskan Blessing, to life?
I think I just enjoy sort of the community. I love writing, and one of the reasons I do write small towns with Harlequin, with Forever, is because I love the sense of community. I love the familial links. Everything's not always perfect, but I do like that in the inspirational thread that weaves through the book. And because there is a heavy issue at the surface, of this book, that people can find some hope and inspiration between the pages. I like that as well.
I love that. I love that. And I love the fact, Belle, as well. I love that you had a great balance in this particular book, because like she said,
Yeah.
guys, there are some heavy issues that she deal with, but there is some great balance in this book that kind of balances itself out. Like you have a little chuckle, you may have a few laugh out loud moments and things of that nature too. But again, like you said too, Bill, that sense of community, that sense of family
Yeah.
on both ends. Oh my goodness, Ryan's relationship with his family
Yeah.
and how they helped him get through some things, as well as Sky and her family as well. And guys, you already know it's small town, so you know there's a little bit of tiny bit of matchmaking.
Oh yes, always got to have the
Gotta
matchmaker.
have some matchmaking in the small town. Of course, you got the
Mhm.
small town busybodies. That's the town gossips. You have it all of the ingredients that makes a small town as well. And Bill, I know they are wanting to know, my friend. Please share with us, how can we get our hands on a copy of An Alaskan Blessing? And guys, you already know I have it on my Kindle in ebook format, and I have it in print. But share with them, how can they get their hands on a copy of it?
You can get it at harlequin.com. You can get it at Walmart, Barnes and Nobles, Target, just most of the places where you buy books. But I last saw it for a really good price at harlequin.com. So
Okay.
give you a few pennies. But and Amazon always has the love inspired books, which is nice. And if in person, Walmart, great prices too. So
There you have it, guys. It is available where books are sold. I definitely tell a friend about An Alaskan Blessing. Get you a copy, whether it's in ebook, whether it's in print, and read this amazing story as well. And of course, Belle, you have to share with us, my friend, how can we stay connected with you?
you can stay connected with me. I am always on my author Facebook page. You can go to my website, bellecalhoune.com, join my newsletter, which I always do monthly giveaways. I'm also on Instagram, Belle Calhoune. Those are the main places. I'm on Threads, but I don't know if many people are on Threads. Not yet, anyway.
Guys,
But
and
yeah,
of course, definitely make sure that you stay connected with author Belle Calhoune. Follow her on social media. Also, go to her website, sign up for her newsletter, all of that good stuff. And Belle, if you could actually share with them the next book that's coming out in this series and if it's available for pre order.
yes, it is. I actually just posted on my Facebook page that if you're a Barnes and Noble, I guess, rewards member, they're having a 25% off sale. So let me see if I can find it to show you the cover. That is coming out in January, which seems so soon because this one just came out, but it's coming out in January. And I can promise you, if you think there was tea and gossip in that town,
Woo!
when so this is the cover. I don't know if you can really see it. Can you see?
It's like a glare,
Oh,
but
it's a glare. Okay.
if you tell us the title of it, they can go look it up as
Okay, it's
well, and they
called
can
His
pre-order.
Secret Alaskan Family.
Woo! Did you
Yeah,
guys hear that? Oh my
and there's
goodness.
a huge secret about where he's been.
Oh,
Some more
Belle is
tea.
spilling the tea about the next book in the series, guys, and she just let
Yes,
us know that it is available for pre-order.
it
So
is
feel free to
available.
pre-order that one as well. Belle, oh my goodness. The time goes by so fast,
It
my friend.
does.
Of course,
It
you know you
does.
have to come back and talk about and spill the tea when the new book comes in
I
as
will.
well. And so, Belle, again, we are super duper excited for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your new release, An
Thank
Alaskan
you.
Blessing. Congratulations on the next book that's getting ready to come out in January as well. So we are super duper excited about that, guys. Make sure that you tell a friend to tell a friend about An Alaskan Blessing. And of course, Belle, before we leave, I want to allow you to have the last words of what you want to say to the people.
I just want to thank everyone who's already purchased the book. This has been a great few months for me. This book was number 11 on Publishers Weekly, which is, such a distinguished list. I feel really humbled and grateful for the support and that people seem to be enjoying it. Also, the surprise of my life was making New York Times for Falling for Alaska. Believe me, when I got that phone call from my editor, I was like, huh? What? Am I being punked here? But and the sequel to this comes out December 10th.
Oh,
So
exciting. Okay, guys. So
yeah,
Belle Calhoun has spilled some tea. So she got a book coming out in December, which is the sequel to Falling for Alaska. And then she has a book coming out in January, which is the next book in this series,
yeah,
An Alaskan Blessing. So definitely, if you haven't already, subscribe to her newsletter, follow her on social so
yes,
you can stay
absolutely.
in tune to everything that Belle Calhoun has going on as well. And Helen Gibson says, I thank you for sharing with us tonight, Belle, and congratulations
Oh,
on your
thank
success on
you.
your, and she has
Thank
hashtag
you so
NYC. You guys
much.
know that that is New York Times. I love it. I love it. They're giving you love, Belle. Letitia
Oh,
said
thank
congratulations on
you.
making the bestsellers
Thank
list
you.
as
Thank
well.
you.
Guys, that's our time on today. It was amazing hanging out with
Thank
New York
you.
Times bestselling author Belle Calhoun on today. Belle, you already know, do not be a stranger.
I
Come and hang out
won't.
with us again here at the
I
cafe. It's
will.
always a pleasure hanging out with you. Guys,
Thank
go out
you.
and get An Alaskan Blessing. Of course, you can follow me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Angela Anderson's YouTube. In addition to that, you can follow me on social media. And if you haven't done so already, or if you haven't heard the news, I have a new book that is coming out on September 12th in 7 more days. It is called The Power of I Am, 21 days to 21 days to affirming you. I'll definitely put the link in the comments section. You are more than welcome to pre-order. You can
Woo!
pre-order it from Riches in Reading. You can pre-order it from Amazon. It will also, there will be copies available at page 158 books as well. So again, guys, that is our show. Tell a friend to tell a friend to get a copy of An Alaskan Blessing. And as we always say here at the cafe, have an amazing day because we are having an amazing day. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.